Right, Kayla Jones, Paige Knight, both activate your audio and videos, please.
Oh. Oh.
All right, if you would both raise your right hands for me. Swear that testimony in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Oh.
And Ms. Knight, do you have a protection order out of Superior Court against Ms. Jones? Is that right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And is the case in Superior Court ongoing? Are there further hearings scheduled?
No, there's not.
Has the case been resolved?
With a 5-year protection order.
Oh.
And so Whitney and Lanny J, who are protected under the terms of that order, are they your children, Ms. Knight?
Yes, they are.
And what's the situation between, and who's the father? Is the father Ms. Jones's boyfriend?
No, her ex-boyfriend. No, he's not.
Okay, so are the children that are subject to the Superior Court order children that Ms. Jones would have contact with?
Not any longer, no.
Okay.
I'm here, but I'm also checking in Slaven's room.
Ms. Jones, you have protection order regarding Ms. Knight's boyfriend, is that right?
There are two of them. There's one out of Superior Family Court for 10 years, and there's one out of it's a criminal case for 5 years for domestic violence assault.
Okay.
I've got this sped up too. It looked good further down.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yes, and I have to thank Lucificence Lair for putting me onto this Eric Martin appearance. If it happens, it's scheduled. I don't know if we'll get a link, but it's scheduled.
Right. Ms. Knight, you have a protection order against Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones indicates in her affidavit that you come to her house, you go to her workplace, you were trying to get information about her. Your response?
That's not true.
You don't go to her house
I
or drive by her house or sit in the car outside of her house?
not to I go to the doctor right near her house is my primary doctor. So if she has seen me around there, it is probably due to that.
Okay, so your answer to my question is no. You don't sit outside of her house. You don't surveil her. You don't look to see who's there. You don't have any contact with Ms. Jones in that regard at all. Is that your answer?
Yes, I don't do that.
He is set at 1
The
o'clock.
only reason you're in the neighborhood is when you go to your physician?
The physician, yeah, she lives near Target over there, and it's like a very busy area in West Side Olympia. I see this doctor at CMAR, which is near her residence.
Eastern time.
Okay, Ms. Jones?
There is no doctor's office in the parking lot of my apartment complex. She, since she had started dating my ex,
So there's that.
she was granted the no contact order over allegations that she had made against me. And
Dating.
since it's been in place, I have not broken it. I haven't had any sort of contact with her, anybody. I haven't met, seen, nothing with her kids, nothing. She got with my ex, and he is a very abusive alcoholic. There are the two orders that are in place. And it's
Should have
just a
known.
very muddied mess at this point. It's become spiteful and vengeful. And now it's being taken out on me because I'm not really sure. She wrote her own police report. She has been talking to my mother. And part of the reason that she was granted her no contact order was because she submitted messages between her and my mother, where my mother threatened her and her children. And now she's in contact with her to try to gain personal information about me. I had my address listed as confidential. And so her and her boyfriend, my ex, are reaching out to family members to get this confidential information. And now I don't even want to be here anymore. She wrote, she drove by with her brother, and initially the official police report said that she drove by with her boyfriend, and then she called and changed it because I think they realized that he was going to get in trouble. Now the brother's saying that they were at Target. You can't see my apartment building, like my apartment, from Target. You would have to physically drive through my parking lot in order to see where I park. Like, I have a paid parking spot. You cannot see it from the road. There is no CMAR within the vicinity of my parking complex. She has no reason to go to my place of work. I work at a childcare facility where my children go as well. There's no reason for it. She has gotten her boyfriend's mother to write statements. She has reported, or apparently her boyfriend's mother reported photos of my daughter for child pornography, that she also talked to the detective, and the detective spoke to me and said that there was, to take it down, but there wasn't going to be anything going forward, that someone had ulterior motives. She testified in court against my other daughter's father, stating that I was a dangerous person, and my daughter got removed from my custody based on part of the testimony that Miss Knight gave. That had nothing to do with her. She's never met that child. Like, she's just inserting herself into my life now, even after she was granted a protection order because she fears for her safety. If she fears for her safety, there's no reason for her to be driving around my residence or involving herself in my life.
This is ugly.
And I'm just asking for the same respect. I don't want her involved anymore. I have abided by the order that was put against me, and I have tried to move on. I moved. I've done the things that I know that I need to do. And she's making it more difficult for I don't know whatever reason. And I just want it to stop. I can't move forward if she's still
Well,
inserting
it's
herself in
both.
mine and my kids' lives.
So do you have any photos of her parked in the parking lot of your apartment complex or
No, there's
anything else?
there's the police report that stated that she was driving around in the parking lot with, first it was her boyfriend and then it was her brother, to show someone where to serve paperwork to me. That my address after she got it from my mother can be used for GPS. There's no reason that she needs to be driving around pointing out my address or looking for my vehicle. And I didn't write that.
Okay, so other than the incident that's referred to back in October or January rather, where Mr. Carter was going to serve you, does she appear in your parking lot on other occasions?
There have been two that I have seen, her brother's car and her in a hooded sweatshirt or like coat or something in the park that I've seen by my mailboxes. But I have not been served any paperwork since the initial time, and they ended up serving me at my workplace, not at my apartment.
Okay, so the coming to your workplace, same thing? Is it around the service issue or is it outside of that they come to your workplace?
And I think initially it was the service issue. I did get served papers by her brother, and then there was two other times where I saw the vehicle driving and just went back inside instead of going to my vehicle, and I wasn't served any paperwork that day. And I called campus security to ask if they had video surveillance, and they do not. And they suggested getting a like dash cam or car cam for my vehicle. And that if I thought that they were out there, to have someone go to my vehicle with me.
All right. And Ms. Knight, you were present in the parking lot of the apartment complex with your brother to show your brother where Ms. Jones lived, is that correct?
What actually happened was we were going to Target. You can see the apartment complex from the Target parking lot. I wasn't even entirely sure that was her apartment. It was just, I assumed that was it. And I pointed it out. And my brother, when we were leaving, we were taking a right, he decided to turn into the apartment complex. That's when I saw the vehicle and made that police report. It was like you took a left in, and then I had him leave, but I looked and I saw that
Oh,
truck
yeah.
there parked there.
It was her
And
brother.
there is the protection
Uh-huh.
orders with Kayla and Brian Madison, and also one that includes their daughter,
I
my
almost
partner's
believe
daughter and
that.
Kayla's daughter. So I was only concerned for their safety when that report was made. And I later learned that she had invited him back in the home. So that's really what happened. And my
Okay.
doctor's office
Woo.
is within 1,000 feet of her residence. I measured it on Google because I have to go to the doctor and I did not want to break this temporary order.
You cannot see my parking spot from the road.
You can see her apartment complex from the road. I wasn't specifying her parking spot.
Okay. In this case, it appears to me that the appearance in the parking lot was not a continuing surveillance of Ms. Jones. Ms. Knight, I agree with Ms. Jones. You may be, I can understand from her perspective why it looks like you're being pretty intrusive in her life. You have a protection order against her, and you want to be interested in staying a long way away from her. So you should act that way. I'm going to find in this case that the service or that the initial concerns raised by Ms. Jones or Ms. Knight participating in some aspect of the service to get the protection order. So I'm not going to find that it was meant for harassment purposes. Ms. Jones, I can't do anything about what Ms. Knight says to other people, whether she files reports with police or with the court or makes allegations that are untrue about you. Can't do anything about that. It's going to be up to those agencies to decide whether they want to respond to anything that Ms. Knight says. Ms. Knight, you have heard how uncomfortable Ms. Jones is with the sense that you are spying on her and your presence is threatening to her. So you have a protection order against Ms. Jones. I would strongly urge you to act like you have a protection order against her and stay a long way away. I'm going to deny the order in this case because I don't see that it's at this point evidence that it was meant to be harassing.
So everything that she's done since the protection order is just, she's legally allowed to continue to drive by my work in my apartment. And
Jones, I'm not going to argue this. She's told me it happened twice. I don't think it's, and to me, it seems it's related to the service issue. I'm going to drop that. I'm not going to proceed on that because I think that wasn't intended to be harassing. You certainly took it as harassing. I understand that. But it hasn't continued on a regular basis. And so I'm not satisfied that there's a basis for me to issue a protection order. I've made clear to Ms. Knight that if it continues, and that's why I asked if you have photos of her in your parking lot, I would suggest you take those if she shows up out there. She doesn't have any reason to be there. I understand that. And Ms. Knight, I strongly suggest you not go there.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Well, there's no link in the Eric Martin thing. So they might just not be streaming it. Unless you guys can find one. I'm on the channel and I don't see it. Well, here's the thing. I can go live when it's scheduled. I can't control if they're on time or if they stream. That's just the way it is. But I did provide you some excellent
Love, exciting and new.
You know that guy's just enjoying the hell out of
All right, Ms. Holland, Ms. Rinchak, both activate your audio and videos, please.
playing those chicks against each other.
All right.
I just have audio.
Okay. If you both raise your right hands for me.
He has a big laugh with
Is
number
there
3 on
testimony
his
in this case,
rotation. I
truth, whole
guarantee it.
truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, I heard Ms. Holland, Ms. Rinchak. Okay, there we go. All right, and Ms. Holland, you take care of Ms. Rinchak's father, is that right?
No, she does not.
I did when he was here. He's been since sent to the hospital, and as far as I've been informed, he's now at her home, and we have had no contact with him. We have not been allowed to speak with him or anything, and we've been worried, and we've been trying to get in touch with him.
Okay, but if he's under Ms. Rinchak's care, what's your interest in that?
Because when I'm here, I'm his caretaker. He spoke to Adult Protective Services, and he told them that he did not want to be around her.
Ugh.
Okay,
And
so who are you hired by? Adult Protective Services?
no, him.
Okay. And is it just, how did you get hired? Is there a written contract between the two of you?
No, there's not. I do have a letter signed by Michael stating that I do live here with my son. He asked me to take care of him when I was here when we met. I was moving in here for a residence to take care of my son, and all that. And it just came about that he asked me to help. And he had to go to the hospital, and he's not. I haven't heard from him since.
Okay. All right, Ms. Rinchak.
My father is currently in my home on hospice care. He went to the hospital because of bed sores, because he had not been being taken care of. And she is not a hired caregiver. He had a caregiver
There is a daycare
through
business. Yeah.
an agency that was paid through the VA. And I have spoken with Adult Protective Services, and there's been multiple other reports made by the VA and people at the hospital about the care that he received there with them. Miss Holland was staying at my dad's house as a friend of my brother. My brother passed away on the 19th. And this was all, me and Bonnie had no issues. I have text messages where I thanked her for helping while we were getting things situated, to where she then had some gentleman come to the house with paperwork. And in that paperwork, the process server has never even filed that he served the paperwork. My son is Cody Saunders. He's not here because he was never served.
Okay.
There's like 15 people living on my father's property, and at this time,
That is untrue.
taking things out of the property.
That is untrue.
All right. So Ms. Rinchak, where you live, does that have any proximity to where Ms. Holland resides?
I'm in Puyallup. She lives in my father's home. He wants to die at home. I can't take him home because they're there.
Okay. And you said he's in hospice care right now?
Yeah. He's got cancer into his bones.
Okay.
It started with a bladder mass that has progressed into his bones.
You just really,
The only person that I had any verbal altercation with on the property was my brother's girlfriend. And that was because I showed up on the evening of the 20th after I had been informed that my brother died the night before, and asked why nobody had called to let me know he had passed away, or to let me know that my father had been there all day with no family.
All right.
you don't want to get on the wrong side of chat. It's just that simple.
Your Honor,
Ms. Holland, go
when
ahead.
her brother Greg, excuse me,
So go ahead.
when her brother Greg died, we are not the ones responsible for calling her. Randy and there was other family members that were informed, and they were the ones who were supposed to let her know. We did not have her phone number. I had never seen her or met her. She had never been here to visit her father since I've been here, which has been a year.
I was there on the 12th.
and there's other people.
My husband was at the casino with my
Ms.
brother.
Ms.
in the
Rinchak.
hospital.
Ms. Rinchak, don't interrupt, please. You just wait till I ask you to say something. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Holland.
I had never met her until the day that she showed up after her brother passed away. When she did show up, she was intoxicated. Her son was intoxicated, and her husband was intoxicated. They busted into the garage, which is a living space for her brother and his girlfriend, and she started screaming and yelling at people. I calmed her down, told her that I had no way of getting in touch with her, anything like that. And yes, I was very polite and nice with her. She had a gun with her. Her son, she called her and forced her, was pretty much intimidating people going around. Her husband didn't say or do anything. And they
She
threatened
doesn't
to
need a
put
gun for that.
her brother's girlfriend in the pond, which is there's a pond out back on the property. They continued to get more belligerent as they're here drinking more and more. They were here for quite a while. Her son attacked somebody here on the property. There's multiple things. What Adult Protective Services came in investigating her for mental abuse on her father. He talked to them. He told them that he wanted me here taking care of him and that he did not want her or her son to be here on the property. He did that himself. No one else spoke for him. When he left to go to the hospital, he was not covered in bed sores. He had one bed sore, and that was from him refusing to get up and eat and things like that. And that is why we called and had him, the ambulance, and had him looked at because we were worried about him. Since he was called and been put in the hospital, we have had no contact. She went to the hospital and she made it to where we could not find out anything, including his daytime caregiver and their company. He was not allowed to speak to him or see him. We have been giving absolutely no information. Michael, he wants to be here. That is his wish. He wants to die in his home. He can be brought back here by the ambulance, transportation, by anybody else but her because of the way she acted when she was here. And her father said he did not want her here. That is why I went in for the protection order. I should have went in and put in a vulnerable adult order. I didn't really know anything about it until I started doing the protection order for me. Otherwise, I would have put in a vulnerable adult protection order. Adult Protective Services, they were called. They have to be called. And I've spoken with them. And she's the one who is under investigation. We are very worried about Mike. Very worried. There's
All right.
nobody on this property taking anything from him. The only people who have showed up here have been people that she has sent here to take things like his paperwork. When she was here, she tried to take his bank card. She took his files, his will. I mean, everything like that. And her brother's daughter came to get some of her dad's belongings. That is
Okay.
all. No one here
This-
has done anything.
Ms.
Yes.
Holland, let me ask you some questions. The home you're residing in is yours? Do you rent there?
No,
What's the story?
It is Michael Saunders' home. I do pay to rent here, but then I started taking care of him for rent.
Okay. And do you have a rental contract?
No, I do not. All I have is a letter for the school district stating that I live here and things like that, signed by him. There is no rental contract, no.
Why the school district?
Because they needed to have an address, verification for address and the place of residence.
Well, yeah, but why the school district? Do you have a child going to school there?
Yes, my son. I have a 7-year-old son.
Oh, okay. So the school district wanted to know where you were residing.
Yes.
And now we know the whole thing.
All right. But you have
Wants
no
her son in that school.
familial relationship to Mr. Saunders.
No, I do not.
I'm going to enter a denial on the request for the order in this case. I don't find any legal basis for you to argue that you have entitlement to see Mr. Saunders. I think your concerns about his safety and Ms. Rinchek's care you've addressed through vulnerable adult services, and that's the appropriate avenue to take, and they can do whatever
What about the
investigations.
gun?
They're gonna take whatever investigations they want to take on and make any determinations that they will make from that. But at this point, I'll say to Ms. Rinchak, Ms. Holmes made clear that she doesn't want to have any contact from you. Your father apparently is at your place now, so you have no basis for contacting Ms. Holland. If on behalf of the family, there's a desire to reclaim the property, you're going to have to work through legal means to do that. You can't send your grandson there to drive her out. None of that. She's living there initially with Mr. Saunders' permission, and so she has a right to be there until that's made clear legally that she doesn't. So I don't want to hear about from anybody that you or your family members are going there and harassing her. She's made that clear that happened once. I don't expect it to happen again, and you're going to take legal action if you want to reclaim the property. So that's all I'm going to say.
family members can go there to get his belongings on his behalf, right? We got his eyeglasses and his phone and his teeth. That was all that was they were sent there. for by
I'm
him.
not issuing any order in this
Okay.
case, but
Make sure.
your grandson left a really negative impression when he went there.
My son?
And or your son.
He brought
yes.
a gun and showed me the gun.
Okay, yeah, all right, Ms. Holland, thank you. And you should not go back there. Ms. Holland's made very clear she does not want to see you, Ms. Rinchak. So
Very
I
clear.
just,
We'll take care of the rest of it in another meeting. Courts.
all right, thank you. Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
I mean, those are pretty good while we're waiting. I want Eric Martin to get going. But so far, we've been pretty lucky. She was real battle axe. I don't get what's going on there, other than I think she's using him to place her child in that school system. She's using the guy, but that's what he wants. He may or may not be getting something out of it. I won't speculate. I know what you people are thinking because you have dirty minds. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking home cooked meals. Y'all should be ashamed.
And that will conclude our calendar for today.
Well, this is what we got, people. I don't know if he's retired. He might still be going. He might still be going. All right. What are we doing here? So we've got a link.
Maybe she's doing a link to write him out for next.
Oh, look
week.
at that.
No, because he's a circuit court now. We don't do
Oh, they
anything.
wait. Or
Look at
found
that.
over, they
Found
finished
over.
it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we finished at like 12:45.
This is happening.
See,
We're gonna get a hot mic
um,
action here.
11.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be at 10 o'clock.
yeah.
Come on, say some crazy stuff.
We almost did something. I guess that was gonna be offline.
Well,
Yeah, no, that was talking. Long as
Thank
I'm
you,
wrong.
Andrew.
we'll walk in.
William,
Nobody told me about a walk-in. Nobody told me about a walk-in.
He's doing.
Yeah, because if there's any walk-ins, it's done as a video.
I don't know, her new what it was, any new walk-ins get handled by whoever's assigned to it or something.
Her name's William.
What's the guy's third?
It's a
Is it
girl.
my case?
I don't know. I never seen the file. It's William.
Set the wrong bonds.
Nobody said anything to me at all about a walk-in.
I need to somehow figure out a way to
Do you want me to, or she's up here, I can get her name.
Facebook so that we have 8,000 fucking people who don't know who George Stockbridge.
We can ask the first name.
No, it's shut up, pants. Ah. For Eric Martin, we've got Eric Martin's attorney here.
All right. Mr. Darren, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You're here for Eric Martin?
Yeah, I need to just get back to the check-in so that she can throw me in with him so I can talk to him.
All right, hang on a second. Let's see, where is it? All right, I'll put you in there.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, it's very exciting.
No one was saying it though.
No, but oh, yes, she is here. Apologize. Yep, we'll get further down. Randy French is here.
It's got Shanky.
Yep, Mr. Sharkey is not here yet.
That whistling is not me, by the way. Just for the record.
Robert Pierce is here, still in custody.
On the Samsung, what's your name? Turn your video on.
Attorney Jeffrey Blaze is here to Sean.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Gabby Murray.
Hi, Gabby.
Which case number are you here on?
I don't know the number. I wasn't given the number.
Sure. How do you spell your last name?
MURRAY -PEAKE.
Were you whistling just now?
The dash, say again?
PEAKE.
Because if you were, you need to put a sock in it.
And which case are you here on?
The case against Scott Anthony Fleming.
All right. You are a victim / witness?
Yep. Yes, sir.
And your spelling of your first name?
GABRIELLE.
All right, the check-in clerk will be pulling you in a moment, and then we'll let the prosecutor know that you're here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Slaven's always ready, but he looks especially ready to just lay down some law today.
Kaylee Murray. Hi, are you here on the Scott Fleming matter? You got to unmute yourself.
Yes.
All right. The check-in clerk will be pulling you in to make sure that we have all of your contact information updated.
Okay.
You are a victim / witness?
Yes.
All right. She'll be pulling you in a moment.
I don't even know what that means.
Must be for. What do you think? Attorney Goldman's here for the forest.
Dummy.
For Keenan Peterson. So, I'll just leave it to you later. Pierce is fine. He's good. Not that I know of.
Or, I'm sorry, it's sentencing.
I got those two files here. I can call down and find out.
On the highway claiming free. No power over me, says my plea. I'm a sovereign in denial. Gonna be here for a while. Cause this life send takes a seat. My arguments are obsolete. Just a fool in legal night. Trying hard to win the fight. I'm just a sovereign idiot. My defense will fail spectacularly. To be guilty is not my style. Arguing laws that ain't worthwhile. I object to every word. No sense in what you've heard. Legal logic hit the ground. Round and round, lost and found. I'm just a sovereign idiot. My defense will fail spectacularly. To be guilty is not my style. Arguing laws that ain't worthwhile. I object to every word. No sense in what you've heard. Legal logic hit the ground. Round and round, lost and found. I'm just a sovereign idiot. My defense will fail spectacularly. To be guilty is not my style. Arguing laws that ain't worthwhile. In the courtroom standing proud. In a fog but being loud. Pointless battles in my head. Stuck in rules I don't understand.
Well, I thought something was going to happen. We're going to get there, people. We've come this far. We've already had 3 fantastic Karens. 2 of them in a throuple. I beg your pardon.
On the iPhone, what's your name? You gotta unmute yourself.
Bennett Kerr.
All right, Mr. Kerr, I'm gonna have my check-in clerk be checking in, make sure you have all your contact information is updated.
Yes, sir.
Then we have your attorney from Neighborhood Defender Services. We'll put you in a breakout room with them. Today's the date and time set for a probable cause conference, so stay on the line.
Thank you, Honorable.
Did you just say thank you, Honorable? is that me? I don't know. Maybe I heard it wrong. I don't know. Yes, you can go with Your Honor or the Honorable Joseph Slaven if you really want to be fancy. But you wouldn't say that directly addressing them. You just go with Your Honor. Hell, Judge will work. The Honorable is bad. It's not as bad as my honor, but it's bad. Well, no. Not Esquire. He is an Esquire, or he wouldn't be sitting on the bench. But in this context, you gotta go with the judgy name, like Judge or Your Honor. It's all context, people. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to sit here and look at the damn wall in this courtroom in Taylor, Michigan, until something happens. And that's the way it's going to be.
Attention, esteemed viewers. If you are hearing this message, it means that you are sadly witnessing a dark moment in the history of legal discourse. Yes, it's true. Law Talk with Mike is experiencing what we in the business call a plot hole-sized lull. This is, of course, due entirely to Mike's, let's say, ambitious approach to preparation. And by ambitious, I mean utterly devoid. Yes, the very fabric of our legal system, as represented by this live stream, has encountered a, shall we say, temporal anomaly. A glitch, a hiccup, a veritable vacuum of action. And who is to blame? Why none other than our esteemed yet woefully unprepared host, Mike. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a snack. This musical interlude is just gonna be a thing. We'll get back to the legal stuff eventually, probably. So to fill the gaping void where insightful legal analysis should be induced to a lack of any ability to keep your attention, Mike has in his infinite wisdom decided to subject you to this artistic expression. God help us all, please do not hold Mike accountable for this. Bless his heart, Mike didn't quite foresee these moments of dead air when he planned for this whole thing. He clearly has no idea what he's doing, so sit back, relax, and maybe grab a snack. This musical interlude is just gonna be a thing. We'll get back to the legal stuff eventually, probably. There is no schedule at Law Talk Nation. You can only pay to get a notification. If you're lucky, it's a spicy fornication. It's another day on Law Talk with Mike. We got preacher on the dial, planning always make your chap smile. The pros say can't ever share a file. Defendants are always in denial. He was not driving, he's traveling. His reasons and facts are unraveling. It's another day on Law Talk with Mike. Courtroom is always popping off. You have a failure appear and you scoff. Judge Simpson is never going soft. Webster is always showing heart. We are heading into that soft 6 summer. Did you miss the line? That's a bummer. The soft 6 never gets smarter than dumber. He's not the man, he doesn't need a number. He was not driving, he's traveling. His reasons and facts are unraveling. It's another day of Law Talk with Mike. Courtroom is always popping off. You have a failure to appear and you scoff. Judge Simpson is never going soft. Webster is always showing hard. We are heading into there is no trial.
This is crazy. Ma'am, are you a whore? You're not a whore? Not a whore? You're not a whore?
I never want to hear it again.
You're not a whore? Not a whore? You're not a whore?
I never want to hear it again.
It gets worse.
There were drugs involved that were given to me that ended up being glue. Like I smoked some glue and stuff. I thought I was smoking crack.
Let's go.
You didn't say the cat jumped on his wiener, did you? Sit down and shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener. Cat jumped on his wiener. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener. Cat jumped on his wiener. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener. Cat jumped on his wiener. Shut up. Cat jumped on his wiener. Cat jumped on his wiener. Shut up.
Can you just let this go for once? For once? Once?
Okay, that didn't go.
I think Slaven's watching.
I never want to hear it again.
Are you a whore? Mr. Sharps. Not a whore? Mr. Sharps. Mr. Sharps. Mr. Sharps.
People versus Brandy French.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke here on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shimke. Today's the date and time set for a probable cause conference. You have the opportunity to speak with the prosecutor Do you have all the discovery you need?
I do, Your Honor, yes.
All right, so. Looks like we have it set for an exam on the 24th
Yes, Your Honor.
at 2 o'clock. And I
Yes,
guess
Your
we'll
Honor.
see everybody here at the courthouse on that day.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too, Your Honor.
Judge Simpson will tell you that being alone, need yourself one question.
On the Samsung SM-N981U, what's your name? Turn your video on.
So where did you go? We have questions like on the weekends, do you work selling burritos? The long talk with my crew, we here to laugh at you. We see you in court,
Samsung SM-N981U.
Yes, I am Tayshawn Cole's mother. My name is Althea Jordan.
And you're here just to observe?
Yes, I'm here in support of my son. Yes.
Where's your face?
I don't know if you heard me. Everyone go ahead and get Apple Tech on the phone.
Yes.
And the further details, there were drugs involved. I thought I was smoking crack, but it was just glue that dissolved. Oh man, I gotta get it together because wow, that was messed up. And your honor, I have IBS and I'm bleeding inside, and it's really been rough. A lot of talk with my crew, we here to laugh at you. We see you in court acting all tough. Your soul's a citizen.
Motorola Motor G stylus.
And now Kinky Kelly is shacked up in bed with the fruit bowl. Then the cat jumped on his wiener and started causing trouble. Love exciting and new. We are and always will be. The law talk with my crew.
What's your name?
CHADE.
Can you say again, because you were broke, your internet wasn't going through. What's that?
So sorry, we just the internet challenge.
Your name?
Jennifer Shade.
Jennifer Shade. Your internet's kind of off.
I
I'm gonna move,
feel like
I'm gonna move where you can get better signal. And just sign up.
Judge, could you put me back in with the prosecutor when you get a chance?
I love this. It so doesn't fit. This is exactly what's not going through Slaven's mind.
Challenging it
Okay, in what way?
in a good way.
Anxiety leads to constipation.
If you didn't know, y'all stink. Okay, that's just my opinion.
Behavior in this case is disgusting.
Why are you unnecessarily wasting the judicial time of this court? You didn't say the cat jumped on his wiener, did you? I want to say, I know I have issues, but I have good intentions.
Ma'am, are you a whore?
I object to the relevance of that, Your Honor.
All
right, what?
I'll tie it up real quick, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
You're not a whore?
Any objection? All objections.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Dennis. I'm the victim advocate from the prosecutor's office.
There shall not be any cutting of trees. Don't cut any trees. I'll pass the order. No cutting of trees, no felling of trees in Pakta number 12.
All right, the holdup here is they're having the attorney's meeting with Eric Martin. That's got to be the holdup, because he was the first one on, and he asked for a breakout room or something, and that's where they went. That seems to be the large piece of business for the day. Everything else seems to be very routine stuff. So we'll come on, but I don't know when.
I say the words that she said, or
Sure. I need for you to tell me what went on.
that I'm not on that whole shit. I'm not with that whole shit.
Jack it up.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Kazik on behalf of Mr. Rosansky. He's here for sentencing. There's no additions or corrections. Asking the court to adopt the recommendation. And also, judges, I mentioned to the court already, this incident happened in April of 23. He didn't receive notice until December 16th of 24. I'm asking the court to take that into consideration.
I see that there's a low risk, it says low risk and low needs. There's one score that says high risk, low needs, one that said the ORS is low risk. The needs assessment says that supervision, the risk level for supervision is minimal. So I'm not sure that probation is the answer as far as that goes. I see risk level of supervision is minimal. Low risk score is low risk. Low needs on the RANT score. So I guess I'm just curious. That's going to be quite a financial burden, especially just someone who's already behind on child support. All right, just got a horn. Never had a horn in the background before. All right. Mr. Keys, you made the recommendation. I see the high risk, low need, but then I also see low risk, along with risk level of supervision being minimal.
Yeah, so we do a couple different assessments and
Sure.
Some different results. On the needs assessment did indicate that the results appeared to be
minimal.
Correct, and it appears based on those results, the thing it seems that the defendant may be underreporting to appear in a favorable manner. And so, my recommendation, based on looking at criminal history as well as the reports that were given, were, based on that.
Yeah, but I see what they're talking about in the 2015, but that wasn't alcohol related. Well, controlled substance on the one operating, but yeah, I see that. 2020 suspended license. All right. Given the fact that there's a lot of hoops and stuff. Jump. Yeah. Oh. Risk according to this is minimum. The other one says low risk, but I have two different competing, one that says high risk, one that says low risk. I always kind of scratch my head and go, that's odd. Usually you see it consistent right down the line. So. State assessment of $50, victim's rights assessment of $75. Court cost is $75. Fine of $300. Alcohol assessment of $100. For a total of $600. I'll put you on a payment plan for $60 a month. Actually, $30 a month. And I'm not adopting the recommendation because I got conflicting reports there, and the statute says there's a presumption that not to use jail time or probation, so I'll go with that presumption. Follow the statute. So, all right, sir, I'm going to send that out in a payment plan. Let me put the start date on that. Start date on that will be March 7th.
Okay,
All right, and you'll get that in the mail.
thank you.
People versus Bennett Kerr.
Your Honor, this is a girl with the Neighborhood Defender Service, P86432.
The C is your client.
Yes.
Jim,
he,
you
um,
should be happy about her.
Breakout. All right, so today was the date and time set for a exam in this matter. And it looks like we're going to adjourn the matter to the 19th for PCC then?
Yes, Your Honor, I am looking into whether this case can be considered for the diversion program, so that
Sure.
would just allow me some time to do that.
So we'll set that at 1:30 on the 19th. And Mr. Kerr, make sure you zoom in on the 19th at 1:30.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
So Mr. Kerr, make sure you zoom in at 1:30 on the 19th of February. That's the next date.
The 19th of February, what time, Your Honor?
1:30.
1:30.
Yep, and I'll call you once I get out of court today to talk about what's going on.
Okay, February 19th, 1:30. Okay,
And
thank
you're
you.
waiving- and your client's waiving any time constraints under the statute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Have a good day, sir. Mr. Rosansky, you'll get that in the mail.
Your Mr. Pierce, I believe, is in custody. I'm just gonna talk with him briefly so I can argue bond.
Okay, I have the file here, so.
Yeah.
You need.
He's on Zoom, so I'm gonna log into Zoom really quick.
Ready? People versus Burke.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Burke. He's here on a violation of probation. He's going to enter a plea to the both charges, Your Honor. Pleaded guilty.
Mr. Keys, this is the one we adjourned, correct?
Matt Keys on behalf of probation. You indicated that you're okay with him appearing virtually since the recommendation.
Okay, I didn't know if you needed I didn't know if when you asked you needed a new date for that. Okay, no problem. All right, so Mr. Burke,
Hi, how you doing?
good. Did you hear and understand everything that your attorney, Mr. Gazicki, just stated?
Yes.
All right, you understand that you had the opportunity to go over all of your rights with regard to the probation violation hearing?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand all those rights?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question about your rights?
No, sir.
Anybody promise you anything or threaten you in any way to get you to do anything this afternoon?
No, sir.
All right. And Mr. Gazicki indicated that you're pleading guilty of the alleged violation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you agree that you failed to enroll in the batterers counseling as directed?
Yes, sir. I let him know I got an appointment at 6:45 tonight to sign up for
Sure.
my classes.
It's just a yes or no question.
Okay,
Then
yes,
you
sir.
also tested positive for cocaine, alcohol, and marijuana,
Yes, sir.
even though you weren't supposed to have any illicit substances unless they're prescribed to you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
The trifecta.
And you understand that when I got you here on a thing that says, no use or possession of any alcohol or controlled substances, not
Yes,
just
sir.
like, I'm not just saying that just for fun.
Yes,
Like, I mean, seriously, cocaine, I mean, come on.
I understand, sir.
I was inclined to agree with Mr. Keys with the initial recommendation of jail time. Because listen, if you're not going to listen, if you're not going to try to participate meaningfully, if you're not going to try to move forward with your probation, then you know what? Let's just do jail time. Let's just get you done, get you in, get you out. You can sit in there and contemplate your actions. And then when you're done, you're done. And then you go about your business instead of having Mr. Keys babysit you and figure out why you're going to show up with cocaine in your system or alcohol in your system or marijuana in your system. You understand? So just I'm going to adopt the recommendation. I'm telling you, there's not going to be another time. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, sir, I find there's a factual basis of accepting your plea. Mr. Gazicki, do you concur?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. All right, Mr. Burke, Mr. Keys will be sending you out, or maybe he's already told you the next time you need to report, so. All right,
Yes, sir.
all right. Have a good day. Make sure you show up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Duncan's client was here, but now he can't find her.
Yeah, Mr. Duncan, your client was here. Her internet connection was really, really, really sketchy. You could barely hear her. I just got Shade and I heard like, remember Shade. So I figured, there's nobody else named Shade on the docket. She was here. She was zoomed in, but then it dropped. So are you waiving her appearance?
Yeah, yes, I can, Judge. This is sentencing, though. I don't mind waiving her appearance. I did talk to her.
But actually, then I'll just have to set it up. If we have to, maybe she can come to your office and do it next time. So you can both sign in so we can see, hear everybody, or we can set it up for in person.
Judge, if we do it through my office, that's fine. She's done it well every time, so she must be having a temporary problem, but that's fine, Judge. I'll make sure she's at my office.
Yeah, all right, so let's just, let's do that. I don't even see a rant score on this one. But.
All right. You think Eric's just being difficult, or do you think they're intentionally pushing him to clearing everybody else out first so they don't have to sit through it?
All right, so that one's, let's talk up to Zoom difficulties and we'll reschedule that.
All right, are we gonna set a date now, Judge, or will I get a date in the mail?
I have, you have a copy of the PSI?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so let's just set it for Monday's work with you.
Judge, yes, as long as it's not next week, Judge, I'm going on vacation this Friday. I'm gone for 10 days.
No, no problem. All right, so let's just do the 24th
Okay,
and let's just set that at 1 o'clock.
thank you, Judge, and I'll tell my client to be here. And if she can't, and if there's a problem with coming here, I'll just meet her at the courthouse.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Either way.
Thank you, Judge.
See you then. Take care.
All right.
Mr. Dunn. Just let the record reflect that anybody who's a court observer, they don't have to give their name or anything like that. It is open to the public and so is the Zoom, so. I know we have a name on here, but I'm just letting the check-in clerk know that if I ask somebody and they're just saying that they're just here to observe court, if they don't want to give their name or anything like that, I don't even require it because. So just for future reference. Calling case 2510, or strike that, 250120, People versus Keith Berry.
Good afternoon. Should I go ahead and leave?
Sure.
Here, Christina Dunn from the Neighborhood Defender Service, P 45490 for Mr. Berry. I did appear at the PCC a week ago. Mr. Berry did not. We sent his case for a preliminary exam, and I do not see him here today. I looked at the hall, and I don't have any explanations for his ability to appear.
Let the record reflect that he failed to appear for the PCC. But it was already set for an exam, so we said just to go ahead and let's just continue to do exam. See if he shows up for that. He has failed to appear at either of those matters. I'm now issuing a bench warrant for his arrest. Ms. Dunn, as counsel, has tried to represent him, tried to be as stalwart as possible, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't get him drink. So.
All right, well, thank you. I mean,
Bench warrant
obviously,
issued,
if
and you're
he's
good to
here,
go.
I may be back.
So, yeah. All right.
Thank you.
You have a good rest of your day.
Have you ever had a failure to appear?
Possibly.
Versus Pierce.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alyssa Segura with the Neighborhood Defender Service, P86432, appearing on behalf of Robert Pierce, who is present via Zoom from the Wayne County Jail. Mr. Pierce, state your name for the record.
Robert William Pierce.
All right, according to the note that's in front of me from the both parties have agreed that we're going to set the exam for an in-person exam on the 24th of February, 2 p.m. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Counsel, you're waiving any statutory time constraints for your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
All right, we'll see everybody here on the 24th at 2 p.m.
Your Honor, if I may briefly address bond.
That's the bond.
So, Your Honor, currently the bond for Mr. Pierce is set at 45,000, 10%. I am asking, due to his financial situation, to be a personal bond if possible. He, at the time of his arrest, he was working. He works for Joey Young Construction, has been doing that since 2019, building houses. It is an LLC located in Taylor. He also is staying, living with his fiance in Flat Rock. They have been together for quite some time. He does have 2 children that he maintains contact with, although they are 18, 19, no longer in the household. So he does have familial ties to the community. He's not being charged as habitual. So I don't think that he is necessarily a flight risk. And so for those reasons, I would ask that the court grant him a lower bond.
I'm going to note that one of them is unlawfully driving away, which kind of receiving.
Yeah.
I'm going to refer the matter to pretrial services and a little more when we get there next time.
Understood. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. All right, Mr. Pierce, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Pierce, you can let the deputy know that you're all set for your case.
Yes, Your Honor. Hey, Deb. Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate you.
All right, deputy, have a good day. I'm not sure
You
if we
too,
have
sir.
anybody-
Thank you. So. Come back.
We meet again. The last appearance was an unmitigated ass whooping. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I don't think I have an Eric Martin playlist. I really should. I have so many videos, but I could never find them. I need a YouTube minion.
At least I could justify it if you live 32 miles from Sacramento and somehow justify and rationalize in my little brain here that somehow, some way he doesn't think he's ever going to have to pony up on this one. But you live in Flat Rock.
I had to. Flat Rock came up in the last appearance. And I believe that I'm the only
Madam Clerk, nice.
the only channel on YouTube that's got a Flat Rock clip at the ready. With Judge Dad,
Darren?
no less.
Yes, Judge.
Did you have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Sobe yet?
No, she never made it back in the room. That's kind of why I popped out to see if she was in a hearing.
That's right. Yeah, I pulled you back out just to see what I'm gonna pull her back out and see what's going on.
I just finished meeting with her. She's writing mine up, Judge.
All right.
Can I have a breakout room with my client?
Sure. Hang on 1 second.
All right, thanks.
Ms. Sob is here to build. She doesn't respond. Pulling her back into the session. Mr. Danielski,
Yes.
you spoke with the prosecutor, correct?
Well, I sat there forever and I decided to come in because nobody showed into the room. I'm just looking for a different date for that.
Yeah. I don't know what the, hang on, I see so did, plumbing matter yours or is it?
Which matter?
Plumbing?
I'm here on Fleming, Your Honor, and I have a doctor appointment at 3:30 that will take me about 15 minutes to get there, so I need to leave here about 3:15.
I seen APA Alley was in the same breakout room with you. You didn't speak with her or?
Nobody came into the room with me, Your Honor.
That is not my case, Your Honor. It is for Ms. Moore. There
That's
is no listed APA that could be the reason. I'll let her know right now. She's probably.
Oh, well, they were both in the same breakout room. That's why I thought they were talking.
All right.
I didn't
Well,
see
it's not, it's
anybody in
assigned
there.
to her unit.
All right, so let me get,
Nor.
if she's here, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
she
try to
should
pull her
be
to the main
here.
session. Maybe she can see that. This is good. Hey, she's coming back out here. Miss Alloway? Miss Alloway, I had you in breakout room 3 and Mr. Danielski was also in breakout room 3. Did you, the two of you didn't have the chance to talk about the matter?
Judge, I did not. When I went into the room, oh, there he is. When I went into the room, he was gone and he wasn't signed in.
Okay, I'm gonna put both of you into prosecutor room prime. You guys can talk about the matter real quick. It's a PCC, so let's just.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Miss, so you had the, I also have Mr. Darren,
For
on the
Martin.
Martin case, yeah.
I just need to consult with my victim's advocate before I come in on that, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm ready.
All right, on people versus Lassane. Let me get Lassane, back in the main session. People versus Lassane.
Second room's trying to get her out of the breakout room.
And Maurice Davis appearing with Bridget Lassane, who's present via Zoom. Ms. Lassane, state your name.
Bridget Lusane.
All right, Mr. Davis, you had the opportunity to speak with the prosecutor in this matter.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. My client is prepared to enter a plea of guilty to, of responsible to the amended charge of careless driving.
As to the careless driving, how do you plead, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Was there an accident in this matter or no?
My
Single
car.
car, single car.
All right, 185, have that paid in 30 days.
All right, thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Everybody get a chance.
No, she did not. Eventually, Judge Simpson just gave her a fine and gave up.
Mr. Cohen, good afternoon. You're here on the Pentic matter?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
All right, so he's next door, I guess, was arrested on an alleged violation of the bond conditions. So I don't know if we're bringing him here or sometimes Zoom is great and sometimes Zoom is not great at all. Because we need everybody to be in the same room to get things going. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, you had the right, have you had the opportunity to talk with the prosecutor at all?
I have not. I waited in a room for about an hour and no one's come in yet.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not gonna apologize, you have to call the APA, and call, yeah, I don't know, not my department, but, so it's currently set for exam on the 19th. Do you have all the discovery that you need?
I don't have digital, Judge. I do have other exams now set at 23rd District on the 19th. So as long as I could do it later morning, that date would be okay with me.
It would be like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
On Monday, the 19th?
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, wait, on Wednesday, the 19th.
Wednesday, the 19th, yeah.
Okay, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I actually have exams on the 24th. Would it be possible to adjourn that to the 24th?
Sure, let's just put this over to the 24th.
That's great.
At 2 p.m. All right. Anything else you'd like to bring to the court's attention?
Don't think so, Judge. I'll reach out to the prosecutor for digital discovery and I'll bring it up to the court if for some reason I don't get it.
All right, so I'm gonna set an arraignment on the bond violation on the 24th as well. We'll deal with everything all in one day.
Oh, well, Judge, is it possible to bring that to the court earlier if I'm able to get in touch with Mr. Hentnick at the Wayne County Jail and have him arraigned on that issue earlier or no?
It's an alleged violation, so we can just do it all on the same day. I'm not really sure.
I don't think
Is he planning on absconding and moving, leaving the state or something, or?
Well, no, I guess I just, if he's going to be held on remand status, I didn't want that to be prolonged for a couple of weeks.
I'm sure he'll be arraigned today because the arraignments are today.
Well, it was attached for you to do the bond violation hearing with this PCC, but they never
Sure,
did.
right, exactly. So, at the latest, we'd be arraigning them tomorrow.
Okay, do you know what time, Your Honor? Because I can appear.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna set his bond here. Let's see. He already has $1,000 bond. I'm just gonna reinstate his bond, so.
Okay, so it'll be reinstated. Is he on a GPS tether, Judge?
I don't see the original bond conditions, because they're not written on the file, so. whatever his bond conditions were, I reinstated his bond, so.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
I'm just gonna, yeah. So I'm gonna reinstate his bond, which is $100,000 personal. And we'll take care of the bond violation on the same day as the 24th.
Sounds great. Thank you, Judge. 2 o'clock?
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Mr. Glaze, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. I think I got stuck in the breakout room. I don't know if there's a prosecutor, but I was in there over an hour and I'm not sure what's good.
You're not the first one to say that today. I have no idea what's, that's not my, so let me see, there is a prosecutor, two of them. I'm not sure what the. I don't
I'm
know.
not sure what the court wants me to do. I mean, you want me to send me back to the
Yeah.
check-in or?
Because they're not talking to any of the attorneys that are waiting in the breakout rooms.
All the breakout rooms have been filled up and they haven't been going to door, I guess, and talking to people. So, I'm assuming that she's in talking now. Let me see with Mr. Darren. Probable cause conferences, I can't imagine should take more than 5 minutes.
What do you need? Do you need the order one?
But here's Taylor PD signing in now, so I don't know.
That's probably happening. Yeah. Thank you.
Good afternoon, officer.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
This is Hetnick, day late, a dollar short. Everybody wants to do their things.
He hasn't, to my knowledge, talked to an attorney or anything.
Your Honor, you're calling me.
I'm reinstating his bond and I'm gonna deal with the bond violation on the 24th, the same day as the exam. So, his bond was originally set at $100,000 personal, so I'm reinstating the bond.
Thank you.
So make sure you show up on the 24th, talk to your attorney.
Okay.
Reinstate, no contact with the victim in any way, shape or form. You understand that, right? So.
I gotta get.
Listen, no, there's no, it's no contact with the victim.
My wife just passed away yesterday.
I don't know. Listen.
You know, I gotta pay for the funeral. That's the only thing I'm doing is paying for the funeral. I'm not going to no funeral. I'm not gonna see nobody. Can I do that much? Because I do have life insurance under her name. Okay. I'll go with reinstate bond. Still on.
All right, so Mr. Hetnick's bond is reinstated. Don't have any contact with anybody who's listed as a victim, simple as that. And we'll see you on the 24th.
Okay, thank you.
Here.
Am I free to go?
Yeah, your bond's $100,000 personal bond, so yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. All right, so I got Mr. Cole's case. Sean Cole, I have Mr. Glad. Mr. Glaze is, nobody's talked, I don't know who's, not who, I don't know.
So have him go into breakout room. I'll talk to him in just a minute. I'm trying to resolve Mr. Lawrence's
This is away.
He was supposed to be on Tuesday.
Mr. Glaze, Ms. Stoll is gonna be jumping into prosecutor room 3.
If you could place me back in the breakout room, Judge Wilford, that'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Mr. Dees.
People versus Fleming.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. John Danielski on behalf of Mr. Fleming.
All right, so this is today, the date and time set for the probable cause conference. And
Yes.
the exam. And looks like I see a stipulation that we're gonna set this for an exam on an exam date. Next 2 dates I have are the 19th or the 24th. Either of those good?
Well, Your Honor, my understanding is, well, the 19th, I already looked that up on the Register of Actions. I have a custody trial that day in front of Judge Kelly
Sure.
downtown. And
Sure.
then unfortunately on the 24th, I have a
All right, so the time frame for mine is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Is 2 o'clock gonna be like either on the 24th or the 3rd?
the 3rd is fine. The 24th, I have to look, but that one, the trial doesn't start till 11 a.m. on the 20th, so I'll be all afternoon.
Sure, we'll just go with the 3rd. We'll just go with the 3rd.
All right.
And that's 2 p.m. here at the, you have all your discovery?
I don't have it, but counsel said she would get it to me.
Sure. All righty. And then looks like we're gonna be adding the complaining witness's address to the no contact order.
Yes.
If it said, if the original thing said no contact with the victim, that means that includes where they live, where they're at, where they work. No contact is, I mean, I'm sure, do I need to explain to your client? I'm sure you already have, what no
No.
contact means.
He knows what it means, and what happened, Judge, is they're going through a divorce. That's why I'm involved in this. And he was living in the marital home at the time, but since then I said just leave, let her go live in the home. So he's now living with his mother, I believe. Correct. So he left.
Make sure there's no contact.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys on the 3rd.
Thank you.
Exciting and new.
All right, People versus Shane Charbel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Sharbo. Please.
All right, there's
Okay,
a
that
motion.
case is going to be dismissed. Case is going to be dismissed as part of a plea bargaining in the circuit court.
Just don't get why everybody's still in the breakout rooms. Oh, I got Jones here. Just curious of who spent all this time putting these useless, no need for them stickers on these files. It's just insane. People versus Charbel. Charbel.
Hi, yes.
All right, motion to dismiss is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sign out. People versus Jones. We're gonna set this for a settlement conference.
Okay.
I'm free to leave.
Yep, Savona Jones.
Is you Giovanni?
Yeah, sure. Yep, we'll be setting this for a settlement conference and seeing if the witness shows up, then we'll go from there. All right.
Yeah.
People versus Sears.
Good afternoon, James Kazicki on behalf of Ms. Sears. She's going to plead to operating while impaired.
All right, ma'am, did anybody promise you anything or threaten you in any way to get you to do anything today?
No,
You had the right, you had the opportunity to go through all of your constitutional rights with Mr. Gazicki. Is that correct?
yes, that's correct.
And did you understand all those constitutional rights as he went through them?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and I see that you gave him permission to sign your name to that advice of rights form.
I did.
Do you have any question about any of your rights this afternoon?
No,
You understand that operating while visibly impaired is still a misdemeanor punishable by 93 days in jail and or up to $500 in fines?
yes,
As to that charge, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
Ma'am, on May the 12th, 2023, did you have your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor?
Yes,
And were you driving your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor?
yes,
Before you began driving your motor vehicle in the city of Taylor, had you ingested any intoxicating substances?
I took my medication, in that morning.
And
So,
did that,
yes,
did the consumption of that medication impair your ability to drive?
yes,
All right, I find there's a factual basis for accepting your plea. We're gonna set this up for a pre-sentence investigation report. Someone from the probation department will be contacting you. And then we'll see you at the sentencing date. In the meantime, stay safe.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Glaze, you had the opportunity to speak with
That was way too reasonable.
Ms. So.
I have, Judge, yes.
I thought she might say something crazy. She
And-
not have been more rational.
This is People versus Cole. And it looks like we're going to come to an agreement where the parties are going to set this for an exam on the 19th of February.
Glazer P 46892 on behalf of Mr. Cole. He's here on Zoom, Judge. Yes, we're asking for a live exam on the 19th at 2 p.m., Judge.
All righty. Then we will, and you're waiving any time constraints under the statute?
Mr. Cole on?
Yes.
Okay, hi. You have a right to have your exam within 21 days. We're gonna go beyond that for get everything and be ready for your exam on the 19th. Is that okay with you, sir?
Yes. All right, so we'll see everybody on the 19th here at the courthouse, ready to go at 2 p.m.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great afternoon.
You too.
I'll call you, Mr. Cole.
All right. People versus D's.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alyssa Segura with the Neighborhood Defender Service, 86432, appearing on behalf of Joshua Dees. Mr. Dees, state your name.
Parties have talked. Ms. Segura, you talked with Mr. Dees.
Yes, Your Honor. I have advised him that he has a statutory right to have a preliminary examination where it must be shown by a probable cause standard that a crime was committed and that he committed that crime. At this time, he wishes to waive the statutory rights and have this case be bound over to Third Circuit Court.
All right, and Ms. Segura, you signed the waiver form.
State your name for the record, ma'am. Do you not? Okay, thank you.
They knowingly and voluntarily has waived the exam. And I'm going to sign it as well. Going to be bound over to the Third Circuit Court of the County of Wayne, where this case will continue with an arraignment on the information. And that's going to be on the 19th.
Tuesday, the 18th.
Oh, Tuesday, the 18th. Ms. Segura, did you receive that from one of my officers?
I don't believe so. I think she's handing it to us now.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. Then I'll put the original into the file. And
Dummy.
All right, Mr. Danielski.
I'm sorry for popping back in, Your Honor. I just want to make sure, did we do the 3rd or the 10th? Because I had a divorce trial on the 3rd also. I want to make sure, was it the 10th?
Was the 3rd.
Oh.
So you need the 10th?
I need to, yeah, I apologize, Judge, the 10th.
All right, so funding will be the 10th at 2 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor. Apologize. May I leave, Your Honor?
Yep.
Thank you.
Check them, hang on one second.
Oh, sweet Jesus. What?
I don't know who he thinks he is, talking to anybody like that.
Your Honor,
Listen, you're going to agitate me if you lie to me. I saw you. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you one last time. You are going to agitate me if you lie to me. I saw you.
you jacking me around and railroading me through the trial.
right, Mr. Goldman, did the prosecutor come in yet?
Hi, Judge. Yes, she just did, and we picked an exam date, and it'll be a minute.
So let me call that matter. People versus LaForest.
I think that's everyone. I don't see anyone else in the breakout room. And then I should be ready to go on.
Martin?
Yes. No, not Martin. Martin's gonna be set for a settlement conference. I'm out of forms though.
So let me pull him into the main
Settlement
session.
conference. Yep, we just need a date, but he's in the hospital. He should be leaving tomorrow.
Who's in the hospital?
The victim and Martin.
Oh. All right, so people versus Martin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Don Silva on behalf of the people, PA 7439.
Nicholas Darren on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Martin, who appears before us via Zoom. Mr. Martin, if you could unmute yourself, state your name for the record.
Okay, I got it.
You got it.
All right, you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So this is people versus Martin.
Yes, Your Honor. I have spoken with the complaining witness at the time. He would like to proceed with this case. And the people would ask to set it for a settlement conference before we go forward with trial to see if there's a resolution.
All right. And Mr. Darren?
I mean, Your Honor, I guess we're gonna proceed that way. I was hoping, I'll renew my motion from the last time. Mr. Martin's been incarcerated, I think it's like 62, 63 days now. Court rule is pretty clear. If he's in over 28 days, he should be released on a personal bond. Mr. Martin's just been sitting in jail on this matter. I mean, I guess from practical, I would imagine the court's gonna give him credit for time served, regardless of what the resolution is on this matter, considering he's done over, at this point, he's done over 2/3 of what his original sentence would be. We're not going to accept an offer on this, and I guess we'll just set it for a settlement conference then, if that's what sister counsel wants.
And Your Honor, it's I know this case has been going on for a while. That's correct. The issue here is that him and the victim are brothers. They live at their family.
First, I want to deal with the whole bond thing, because his bond is $2,500 personally.
So I think the issue with that is I was having a cover last week, but per the notes, if you recall, you ordered him not to return back to the property because there's a no contact order in place. 2 weeks ago, when Mr. Brother counsel appeared for the first time on this case, I believe I agree, and that's when the bond was changed. But Mr. Martin, Judge Kirsten, yes.
So Your Honor, Judge Kirsten changed his bond, and then after some further statements were made, he changed his ruling to leave Mr. Martin in jail.
And that's because Mr. Martin made comments about returning back to the location, the home where the victim lives. And to my knowledge, per my conversation with Mr. Martin, the victim today, he indicated he'll be leaving the hospital, returning to that house tomorrow.
Right. All right. So I'm going to.
I mean, I have no objection.
Mr. Martin, listen, you understand? I wasn't here. Judge Kirsten, your original bond was $2,500 personal. Then he said it at $2,000 cash because of the alleged violation. That says it says need to set a hearing on violation ASAP. I don't know if there was I don't see anything whether there's an alleged viation of the bond condition. Is that right?
Not an alleged violation. He made comments.
He made a comment about it.
That he'll return back to the house.
This is why something. All right, so you understand you can't go to that house while you're on that. That's while the bond's in place. You understand that? Stay somewhere else. You understand that?
No, I do not understand it. I gotta stand up. First, I have nowhere else to go. Okay, so that's why I must return back here, and I objected. No, listen, let me talk. I objected to the bond conditions before, I'm objecting to them now.
Listen, your objection is duly noted. You have very, very highly competent counsel. So, we'll just let your counsel, speak on your behalf. And so he already did. He made a motion.
Well, Judge, he's speaking on behalf of that.
Stop interrupting me, sir. I'll just hold you in contempt of court for 90 days and then you can just sit there anyway for it. Stop interrupting. Your Mr. Madera made a motion to set this for a personal bond. I'm gonna set your bond at $2,500 personal. No contact with the victim or the victim's home location. If you show up at that location and violate my bond, you could be held in contempt of court. Just want to make sure you understand that. I'm just telling you that right now. So I'm setting your bond at $2,500. I'm granting the defendant attorney's motion. And the bond is $2,500 personal, no contact with the victim. And no living in the state of Michigan without the consent of the court.
I got something to say.
And you have a right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you, and you already have an attorney who's talking on your behalf, and I've already granted his motion and changed the bond to personal, so.
Hey, well, I have something to say in response to that.
See everybody at trial.
I have something to say in response.
We'll see everybody at trial.
Your Honor, I have something to say in response.
Mr. Darren, do you have anything else further?
Your Honor, are we gonna set it for a settlement conference, or are we just gonna set it straight for a trial?
Sure, I'll set it for a settlement conference, and then a week later it'll be the trial.
All right, Your Honor, I understand the court's position. I mean, if Mr. Martin wishes to make a statement on his behalf, I can only advise that I wouldn't, but if Mr. Martin wishes to make a statement and the court wishes to hear it, I don't have any, I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm advising him not to say anything, but Mr. Martin, if the judge wants to hear it, if he's allowing it, then I'll step aside and let you say.
Mr. Martin, I've already granted your attorney's motion to set the bond at $2,500 personal. So if you have some other statement you want to make, I'm just going to reassure you again that you have the right to remain silent. Plus, your attorney's already said that, hey, you know what, it's probably a good idea if you do so, but go ahead.
Yes. Like I said, I'm going to exercise my First Amendment right to speak, and I have a lot to say, so I ask that you don't cut me off or I'm done talking now. I object to the bond conditions and stuff. I can't be in my house. It violates my due process rights. I have nowhere else to go, and he's not the true victim. He's lying, saying he's a victim, but I told the cops when they arrested me that I was the victim. And so we have an equal protection clause violation.
All of that will be the subject of the trial itself, so we'll hear everything you have to say about that at trial. Your objections duly noted. But that doesn't change my bond. Mr. Darren, you'll be receiving the date and time for the settlement conference.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. You have a great day.
You too. People versus LaForest.
May it please the court, Ezra Golden on behalf of.
Oh my God. Judge Slaven was so nice to him there, cutting him off. He did the same thing as last time. I'm going to violate. His attorney makes a motion, a very appropriate motion, saying he's been in forever. And the judge is like, fine, I'll let him out. Motion granted. And he's like, I want to say something. I'm going to violate. It's the same thing he did last time. It's unbelievable. And then the judge absolutely just cuts him off. He's going to go home. He's going to go back to the house. He's going to get violated. And he's going to go right back to jail. There's no doubt in anyone's mind. That's where we're going with this. And the attorney's not going to care. The attorney's going to say, you know what? I got you out. I did what I was supposed to do. I told you not to do it. I'll do what I can for you, but you're going to sit for a while again. He'll get picked back up, and then he'll sit till the trial. He's already done more time than any person who would have just pled guilty to it, open to a judge, would do. Oh, good Lord. I mean, even if you're going to violate, just shut up and do it. Just don't say anything. And then go. It's the same stupid argument. Although on one of these, I really do have to make a playlist. Oh, yeah. Although his brother showed up last time, and I got to tell you, his brother made such a bad appearance. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that he doesn't have a point. I'm really not. Like, he could win this case. I don't know for sure, but just the stuff we saw, we were looking at it. Somebody, Zach sent me a good thing. Oh, I have to find that. Look at the last video I did and this. I don't know where it is. I'll try to find a link and put it in the description. You know, his brother's like a piece of work. You might be able to beat this charge, but they can never get there because he can't get out of his own way. Oh, thank you guys all for hanging with me on that. That was actually kind of fun. First of all, the appearance was actually I'm like, I don't know, because the attorney was doing a reasonable job. Although this sister counsel and brother counsel crap, I don't know, that must be used over there, but to me, it just sounds horrible. That doesn't make it wrong. I'm just saying it sounds primitive. Is the best way I can put it. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I've never heard that used in any other location. Apparently they've adopted that there, but to me, it just sounds silly. Silly is a nice way to put it. I've got more pejorative words that I probably shouldn't use. But at least we got the appearance. A lot of times they'll go on these goose chases. Everyone yells at me like I'm controlling the docket. Like, it said at 1. I went. They come on when they come on. They call what they call. They do what they do. That's it. That's all you can do. Oh, but this one was kind of fun. The you know, it's not just the destination; it's also the journey. I didn't mean for this to be in a 2.5 hour stream, but that's what happened. But I gotta be honest with you, I kind of had a lot of fun with it the whole way through. Vlog about LIA. What's that? I don't know. Leah? LIA? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Someone's gonna say what it means, and I'm like, duh, I should, but like it's not clicking over in my brain. All right. There we go. 2.5 hour stream for 2 minutes of Eric Martin, but it was kind of worth it. And at least, actually, there were lots of good bits in there. And then there was lots of other stuff. I know I'll get I always get this. I'll get like 5,000. Oh, I don't like the music. I'm like, there's nothing going on. There is nothing going on, people. I'm not here to play music. Oh, Long Island audit. Well, what's going on with Long Island audit? I don't know. Is he doing something? He was on my channel a long time ago. Long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away. Long Island audit made an appearance on Let's Talk with Mike. Oh, well, there you go. All right. Well, we got it. We actually We actually got the appearance this time. A lot of these, they either don't show up or I don't get a link at the end, and then I'm and I'm just doing random clips, which is always kind of fun, honestly. Here we had the best of both worlds. We did random clips, but the first, in the beginning, those are pretty good. We had 3 quality Karens to kick it off, and some other fun along the way. All right. Thanks for coming out. I will see you all soon.